looking at the gang, and as we head over to game, Tundra up ahead. It's going to be a challenge for Quest to come together. Mars and Omarana in the off lane. We didn't really see them have a lot of kill potential in the last game, but again, putting our sights towards the mid here. Which one is more threatening? Void or the dog?
Well,
all right, get ready.
To your sentence there, but either way, I think this mid matchup is hard to really say. I would give the edge personally to Void Spirit, as all his spells can go through the Shadow Realm, making Dark Willow burstable at all stages. And Void Spirit is very popular this patch, very strong, where I feel like we haven't seen enough Dark Willow to truly judge her strengths. But this game is going to be kind of like last game. It's going to be Quest Esports with the aggressive lineup versus Tundra, who's going to go a more defensive route. You already know Amar is not going to build a single aura item this game, where 33 is going to be stacking them up. And you got the Phoenix and aggressive support playing with Snaking, which by the way, I think was a great pick here. I think Fate's Edict blocks so much damage from Quest here. This TA and this Void Spirit are going to have to make Snaking a priority to go on. But it's going to be the same type of game where I feel like Tundra, they can chill. And they can just like build the defensive items and build that death ball, where Quest, they got to be the aggressors here.
Well, they definitely have to. Like getting themselves an early advantage. That they would be happy to welcome Snaking, already scanning up the board, and Mid's going to get the quick attempt on a D board and move the division out nevertheless.
Not watching you in secret.
33 with this Visage. Scrapped the idea of having the Magnus. Not even contested at all during the draft of this game, number 2. So see what he can pull off on one of his most comfortable heroes, and of course comforts again. Sight sets on TA 2000. What can he do with this Templar Assassin? At least in the days of Division 2 in multiple regions, where he played in East Europe and he played in West Europe. Devastating results. This guy would be the top 1 carry out of the Division 2 teams, but in Division 1, he's definitely met his match multiple times. But in the arms of this Templar Assassin, you want to get to that power spike timing. You want to be able to play around this Mars. Like Amar was probably looking for follow-up damage, which they were lacking last game.
Oh, they definitely were in the last game. And I think to answer your question, like, why is the Magnus not here they're going for? I wasn't really paying attention to the bans. Either it was banned or they just decided they first picked Spearbreaker. And Tundra is one of those teams that has like a set type of heroes that they want to play and how to play around them. So Soxa, he got his Coddle last game, which is great with the Magnus, but he got Spearbreaker this game, and the Visage fits a lot better with this type of hero, having that harassment in the laning stage and the lockdown, so Visage can't get those soul assumptions off. And Spearbreaker is one of the strongest heroes as a Boss 4 right now, or just as a support, due to all the buffs that had happened to him. But one of his weaknesses is the laning stage isn't the greatest at level 1. I feel like at level 2 it actually gets pretty good, but you need to try and abuse this hero at level 1 if you can.
And also at TA 2000 in the past year, or at least this DPC, he has only played, by the looks of it, 1 game of Templar Assassin, and that was versus Liquid. It was also a win. I'm trying to look which one this was. This was in wait, 2 months ago or something like that. So last war, I would believe that was the only time he's played TA this year. So enough about
situational pick, right?
But yeah, very, very situational.
No, I'll elaborate on that a little bit. Like,
go ahead.
TA is the hero that you don't pick a lot just in the meta, just because the hero is strong. But he's playing versus Visage. Visage is known for spamming those soul assumptions on you to the point where you can't lane, but save your refraction, all of a sudden the soul assumptions do 0 damage, so that gives you great lane presence, and later on you'll be able to shove the lane out with the traps, get on top of Visage, who doesn't have the greatest armor. All those things make the matchup pretty decent for him.
Yeah, trying to go for a bit of poke here. Kaori is going to take some heavy hits, but not enough for a second round of soul assumption charges to pop on the Phoenix. He will just salve himself up. Standard ground. They want to get to that level 3 on the side of Quest. They stand their ground a bit better here. The Spearbreaker going to be a big nuisance, and another good soul assumption blocked by the refraction. Just this talk about that. Kaori is trying to get Lotuses, and Sox is like, nope, mine.
Oh, he stole it, yep. So both Lotuses Yeah, both Lotuses going the side of Tundra there.
And we've seen the impact of these early Lotuses too, like especially in games where they've been like Medusas, they're like, oh, their mana's about to drop, they're taking the first 2 hits, and oh, they've got themselves mana up again, they throw Mystic Snake. And then on the side of these sportsmen feel like they can do damage, but they're also a bit squishy on that end. They might have to back out for a bit, but TA2000 looks like he could drop 4 stick charges, has to burn them through. 1 more hit, Saksa, he's gonna get it. Of course he will bash him to death. That is a statement.
He didn't even want that first blood, as the Soul Assumption was coming to get that kill there, but we're seeing you can technically block the Soul Assumptions with Refraction, but Sox is like, with these blood grenades and right clicks, we're gonna burst through your Refraction, and then we're gonna use our Soul Assumptions, making the TA still not even a safe pick against this lane here.
Yep, you have a way of handling a battering ram to break through those walls, and once they're down, you can deal that solid, sweet damage right through that. And TA2000, he's got the least CS so far, 14 and 6 on this TA. Everybody else is above that number.
And part of that has to do with the fact that Visage and Spearbreaker is such a strong lane, but Phoenix itself is not the strongest laner. Not able to help a lot with the disengage there. So once the Fire Spirits go down, you'll see they're going to go again, most likely.
A bit of a tempo to TA2000, but in the bottom lane as well. Amar, they didn't have the kill threat required with that Techies last time. Do they have it with the Morana? Probably they're going to need a bit more levels to be able to engage, because right now, Mars, he's 2 points Scott's Rebuke and no Spear, no Bulwark, holding on to those 2 value points.
Waiting to see.
Oh, the kill Asa, maybe. He's going to drop very low. He's still being burned by a grenade, and the Fire Spirit might just be enough. Yes, it is.
Oh, they got him.
And the turnaround from 33.
Got a Fire Spirit from Kaori.
Oh, Kaori's got it! Double kill for Quest, and that's going to be calculated to the bitter end.
And then lane.
Suddenly, we've got 3 kills for Quest on the board.
We wanted aggression, and here we go. Quest Esports off to a great start here, as unfortunately Noob gets solo killed by 9.
The hype gets sour. 9 gets a kill in mid. It's like, oh.
It's like, oh, you're gonna get hyped up for Quest? I'm gonna shut you up right here and right now. Is don't expect that type of kill.
Omar, he doesn't have a leap available, but Sox are going for the quick charge. Getting out of that fountain as soon as possible. That's going to leave 33 alone in the lane for the time being, and Kaori. And they go for a bit of a wraparound from behind, but can they really kill this Visage? It's going to be an attempt. TA2000, no refraction charges right now. Body blocks coming up from Kaori. TP's coming in. It's going to be the Willow 2. Charge onto 2 by Saksa. And TA2000 is going to be the target. Willow going to be following all the way through the Shadow Realm damage and the Assumption. It's both going to get blocked by the refraction. And he's just going to meld himself up. So TA2000 is going to be fine. And Kaori gets 33. He will drop as a consequence from it, but he's happy with the trade.
He'll give its life up for 33 any day of the week. That also gives space to Noob in the mid lane. Little surprised that he was able to get solo killed by a Dark Willow in that type of situation. But it is what it is. He still has good farm, the #1 CS in the game. But with his death, unfortunately, his net worth will still be a bit behind. I do want to see Noob get a bit more active in this game. His Winter Wyvern performance, it just felt like he couldn't get much done on the map. He was in the game, but wasn't able to find anything. So he's playing a hero that's much more capable of finding things on the map. And going to that bot lane after that big trade there.
Yeah, good.
With spells being down, but there's a 17 wand on Skeeter. And a South.
What a good face Edict timing there to soak up that level 2 Starstorm. And there's Noob. It's like, oh, hello. What you doing here? Might as well just gave my life away for this one. And at least it allows the Ursa to get a couple extra CS in the lane. Have to be careful though, but the Void's already going to be back in straight back to mid. And Kaori go in for a quick creep wave, get that level 5 on board. Wisdom runes, one still to be picked up, 33, he took the other.
Still a good kill nonetheless there for Noob. Making sure that Amar continuously has good laning stage, seemingly going for the same build as game #1 here, just into the double bracer, phase boots, probably into a soul ring, and then likely into the blink dagger. I'd like to see him maybe switch it up a little bit. But it is Amar after all. We'll probably just see the same things as usual.
They're gonna dive Phoenix. He's got no Icarus dive. Phoenix flying too close to the sun.
Oh no. What happens if Phoenix flies too close to the sun?
I don't know. Makes another another sun. Good point. Good point. Not a deep dive into the lore at least, but Sox at least bullying the Void Spirit, keeping him at bay.
Hell of a beating.
Nine doesn't exactly have. Okay. I'm like, Willow doesn't exactly push down towers, but again, the question of the universal heroes arises. Like, he actually does do a decent amount of damage. He's got a very fast attack speed on the hero. They can definitely take this tower down pretty early. And it's weird to say, with all these years of Willow being in the game, that he's not normally your tower pusher, but he can technically be that in this game. Snaking, trying to get a kill on Kaori. It's going to be here. A TP coming in from Omar with a Mirana. Saving the arrow for now. Gonna have to take the kill anyway.
Really
you bring a
pushed
good
away, but
point
33
here.
is here. Omar, you already senses danger. Goes
He has no arena, by the way.
Dyer's
Doesn't go
courier
for
has
Lotus.
lost its brave
And the
battle
grenade
with a
misses.
bunch of swords and fireballs.
Doesn't matter.
Taken too soon.
Burns. But he's too
Nope.
fast with the phase boots. Bring a good point. I think universal heroes should have their damage type switch to siege damage. They don't do enough building damage.
Looks like the Dyer figured out where Radiant's top tower is.
More.
The chaos damage.
All the chaos
Looks
damage.
like
So
Radiant's
that
top
will,
You
tower
remember
is
that
getting
one?
torn
Yep.
down. Probably asbestos.
that's the good stuff.
That's the good stuff. Bring that one back.
Okay, arrow does connect, but there's no room to be picked up. It's on the other side. Can Noob get there before Snaking does? Might have to burn some astral steps for it. Now he's just going to give up the chase. Invis rune for 9. Full bottle refill.
Truly wanted it, he could have went for it, but it would have cost him his mana pool. I think it would have been worth it, honestly. But at the end of the day, gonna be another rune for 9 here with the Atos. Yeah, something else coming out here, right? Yeah, it's just like, I don't even know what it was, but nothing of relevance here.
Yeah. Skitter takes a heavy amount of damage here. I think he popped the Lotus as well just to get an extra HP. Amar wants to get the full combo off, but doesn't get the bonk and the spear, so Skitter stays alive. Playing with his life, he burns the second Lotus too.
33 taking the top gate here, but there's a trap there. You see him. But at most, it's just going to make sure that Kaori gets to play a little bit safe here. As Skeeter will also take the gate, realizing he is in danger in the bot lane. And simultaneously,
Don't look
9
now,
and
but
Snaking are
Radiant's
smoking the
bottom
bot
tower
lane, so a lot of stuff's going to happen really quickly here, most likely.
Yeah, TP rotations towards the top lane too. Mirana actually cancels his out. And they're going to take the fight at the top. Soxa's already getting burnt up, but it's not enough damage. There goes the sun. Place down. Noob doesn't get enough protection from it. They're just going to break through it. And looks like the Void Spirit's going to be dropping too. Soul Assumption to connect. 33 for the double kill. And now chasing Skitter in the bottom half. Already used up the Enrage. Earth's Shock. Not going to bring him far enough. Amar rolls in the spear.
Don't look now, but Radiant's bottom tower is getting obliterated.
1 for 2.
It's kind of fun.
Tried to kill Sox off there, but this bulldoze, big reason why this hero is so strong right now. One reason is the bash damage was changed, and you can do so much damage now with Spirit Breaker. Farm quickly, you do fast damage, but you go 1 point in your Q for the Charge of Darkness, then you get that early point in the bulldoze. 40% status resistance for just a single value point there.
Solid.
Quite solid indeed, so they didn't have the damage to finish him off there. We talked about Earthshaker and how he got buffed on every single spell. So did Spearbreaker. But he got buffed in 5 different ways. Every single spell was buffed, and then his strength gain was also buffed too. So now he's tankier on top of his other spells, making him tankier, as well as doing more damage with lower cooldowns. This hero is the highest win percent hero from a support in this patch in high level pubs right now. He's a monster. Spirit Breaker is an absolute beast right now. The only weakness we did kind of talk about before is potentially his laning stage, but Tundra has found a way to bypass that with this Visage Spirit Breaker lane.
True.
With a lot of practice and making sure that they know their counter matchups. Seems unstoppable at the moment.
And a lot of
no
teams
pun
figured
intended.
out how to also play it as a 5. So you can still, even though you say it might be difficult in the laning stage, sure is, but with all these buffs, it has made it a lot easier for both 4 and 5 Spirit Breaker players to get more benefit out of it.
And that's the great thing of when you lose your lane as a Spirit Breaker anyway. You can just, I guess I'll just go mess with the other lanes, you know? And 33 with the micro. Really good.
Holy
Not needed at
Hercules!
all.
This
Always
is
beautiful
a
to
killing
watch to
spree.
see the resummon just for the chain stun.
Yeah. It's worth.
It is indeed. He's not going to need it for a while. They're losing in net worth right now, but it doesn't feel like Tundra's in any real panic right now. It feels like they're waiting for their point of critical mass and when they can group up. Because most of their net worth, they might
Radiant's
catch Ra a
middle
little
tower
bit,
is
but
about
she
to
should
a
be
pile of
fine.
Smoking rocks.
Charge won't connect. But it comes down to, like, what is your net worth doing for you? And I have the same question for Quest, and it's going to come later in the game for them. Most of their net worth advantage is coming on top of TA 2000, just hitting creeps and farming. He is playing a hero this game that will come online a lot faster than the Terrorblade, and that's exactly what they need to do. They need to hit this blink dagger timing.
They're going for the Mars.
Oh, he's charged, yeah.
It's going to get connected, and here comes 33 from one direction.
See you later.
And you've got all your directions surrounded by Tundra heroes, so they'll get a Mar out of the way.
Well, that was a 5-man gank, so I think not too bad for Quest. Every single other hero's farming. Aori's farming top, they push up mid lane, they will lose Roche. So it is an objective at the end of the day.
Something that Tundra wants to get out of the way as soon as possible, considering Roshan number 2.
Oh, he's running. Roche is going to the Dire Sider now. Can they kill him?
He's trying to get out.
There we go. Imagine if it made it through the gate and you just pick it up on like TA 2000 on the other end. They really timed that one down to the last second.
Okay, he does not get hit by the arrow. That would have been very unfortunate for Skitter. Just TP'd him to push out a top wave. That was a lot of farm. Quest was relying. Someone's gonna be pushing this wave out.
I guess one thing I didn't notice about this game is Skeeter doesn't have the best farm. He's going to be getting like a 16-minute Battle Fury, the lowest farmed core on the map right now.
Yep.
The pressure that Amar has been able to make on a Skeeter has been great, but he does have the Aegis now. Just finished his Battle Fury. We'll see if this is just going to be a farming Aegis. Well, he does have some stacks there, so I guess he'll farm for now.
And he's got the Fury, so perfectly timing it as well for a lot of extra gold. Push himself towards that blink. Talking about blink daggers, the early patch TAs opted not to go for blink dagger and just be a hero that walks into the fight, pumps extra damage with Deso, Dragonlance, the early Crystallis. But TA 2000, he's not gonna do that. He's like, I probably need this blink dagger a lot more because of the mobility that Tundra has, right? All of these heroes are very nimble, very fast. They can be all over the place, a lot of control, stuns, roots, everything. So he can still blink with that refraction. And most importantly, if he gets caught once, there might be a small opening for him to disengage, but also jump in the back line, hunt down the Oracle, which is a perfect target for the TA to just snipe down.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think it synergizes really well to this lineup. Void Spirit wants to jump in, and he doesn't have the longest stun duration either, right? So you kind of want to follow up with your Void Spirit. Mars is going to want to jump into, Mirana can jump in, Phoenix can jump in. They all have ways of getting into the fight really quickly. I feel like this TA, if you can join them, you just become that much more mobile, and you can really pick and choose your targets.
Bit of a difference maker compared to the TB in last game. You had all the mobility on your team, but can you get the Terrorblade in time? Like your lockdown was very limited to the early seconds of how the fight starts. So if the TA is also one of those being in the front line, there's no chrono to worry about. There's no RP to worry about. So BKB super value item for him. And also if he gets to that BKB blink timer on time, Quest has a fairly good chance of still winning team fights against Tundra with ease. And I'm saying that this game is still somewhat even. Maybe you could get Tundra bouncing back with this farming Aegis on the Ursa. and potentially give them a bit of an edge. Like, they have the tools versus the Templar Assassin, but TA, if he hits his timings, they are a real force to be reckoned with. They just want to get there. 9 spotted out in bottom. Noob right next to him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he sensed that and just gets out immediately there. Going straight into that Manta style, which is a great item versus the Dark Willow. But on top of it, you're a universal hero, so Echo Manta seems to be normal now. This Void Spirit mid, quite strong. This game going much better so far for Quest Esports than
sure is. Only one tower down too, so only the top tower's fallen, and they have pretty much full control over their side of the map. It's not Tundra being constantly invading them in their own side of the map. Like, what at this point of the game, like last game 1, they would be taking over this top half of the jungle, just going constantly smoking up with the Terror Blade, forcing out a tier 2 tower, and just have so much more freedom. Quest has denied Tundra that opportunity this game, but how long can they hold on to it? And Amar feeling could be pretty huge here. And he doesn't even get the chance to pop his BKB. Nobody there for the rescue. Tower down, Amar dead.
Yeah, these heroes on Tundra don't seem to care much about your BKB, do they? With the Ursa and the Spirit Breaker in line. They're going to bust open the map a little bit here with that Blink Dagger on the Ursa. There's a minute left from the Aegis. I think he got exactly what he wanted from this Aegis, and that was some time for recovery, some time to farm. I was going to say about Quest's lineups here, they still want to find an opening to make a fight, or they want to delay the game. It's going to be a little different game for Tundra. They don't have the same type of supports where they're just going to mass heal you. Yeah, Oracle's a great healer and a great save, but they went for a more aggressive route here with Soxa instead of being the bottle, being the Spear Breaker this game. So you can delay this game if you want for Quest and feel pretty okay about it.
And also Tundra, I think they're a bit susceptible, like their draft, in a sense that they need to get the initiation to work out, because that surprise element will disappear very fast with Quest looking for these pretty big items like Kaori as your +5 supports, building a sheep stick, and also Mola already making really good progress to this. This guy's got already, but they're fighting in the river, and Soxa's going to be trouble first to Noob, and 9 also in trouble. Skitter is dealing out a lot of damage though.
To war.
Skitter has to reset for the time being. He only has snaking around. That is very crucial for Noob to get these 2 kills. However, TA2000 down. That's going to hurt the Templar. And this is something that they did not want to give away.
Definitely not. It feels like this Kaori is playing like he's a core right now. He just doesn't join any fight. Doesn't even think about TPing the tier 2 to help there. Nope. He has all eyes on finishing the Scythe of Vice, and that's just the trade-off they're going to make as a team. They're deciding, putting all this farm on Kaori. They're +5, just going to hit creeps. Now 2,000-ish gold away from getting that Hex. And I think you just double down on this idea. Just keep farming on the Phoenix. You've already farmed for so long. Don't stop. At least get your, your investment really off here. Maybe some surprise Hex on the fight, and then maybe you can control heroes.
Whoops.
Oh, that just happens,
Amplifying Fury Swipes damage. It surprises snaking.
Sometimes you just die to the Tormentor.
Quest sees an opening too. It's like, hey, there's one hero dead. I think they just finished off a Tormentor or something like that. Since, a deny on an Oracle seems a bit fishy. Won't be able to catch 9 in the top lane though, but there's a trap right on top, and they will scout him out. Do they have the lockdown required? They've got the silence from the trap. Oh yes, sir. What are we even painting out here? Of course they have the damage for it.
They have a universal hero with a Manta.
Yes, it's the universal hero. Yep. 212 right click damage with the Echo Saber on top.
Here's a tutorial for Dota right now. If you play melee universal hero,
I am not a betting man,
expect
unless
damage,
it's basketball.
Yeah.
If you play range universal hero,
cricket or curling,
buy Rod of Atos.
I'd bet on Radiant's top
tutorial.
tower coming down. Radiant's top tower just got demolished.
Maybe you should buy Manta on range universal heroes too, actually. Why not?
Why not? It's like anything's possible with these universal heroes at the moment, but Quest Esports, they weren't really able to be in any type of a lead game 1. Now they're up 5k despite Tundra getting that first Roshan, but we're really looking at this second one in 25 seconds. Play towards top, but there's nobody around there, and Amar
Radiant's
Amar's
middle
been,
tower
he's been
is
on
about
the
to
edge
be a
this
pile
game.
of
You know, a lot
smoking
of
rocks.
tips have been given, but he's still trying to focus, at least stay on top of his game. Will get to punish Tundra. I can feel it. If Amar gets a kill, he is gonna tip someone. But we'll see. Teagle always loves to see the tipping game.
Yeah, I mean, Amar has been ultra quiet this game, but I don't really blame him too much. He had a great laning stage. I think it's mainly Kaori's just hitting
Radiant's middle
creeps
tower
and
is
not
about
playing
to
with
be
its
Radiant's
Mars.
scanning around
Seems to be
their
the game plan. However,
looking
we got some interesting
amazing
items coming up. We're only 1,000 gold away from the Scythe of Ice. I feel like that's when you play Dota with your quest. But maybe you wait a bit longer. I'm looking at Amar. He has gold for the Blink Dagger.
So there's his Void and a lot of movement here back and forth. Quest is trying to take over the daytime Roshan, and Tundra is looking for the nighttime Roshan. Let's see which one's going to be favoring them. It's going to be 1.5 minutes, so we'll favor Tundra if they stick around for a longer time period. They're also TPing in bottom, snaking Skitter with Soxa in the front. They get a charge onto the Void Spirit.
This is like the RNG battle. It's like, please go on bottom right now.
Gonna take the Arcane Rune, one tap away, gets the nice Remnant Fuse, catches the Charge of Darkness. Still no fight to break loose.
So I think the timing for Quest, if they really want to close this game out within the next 10 minutes, is going to be Scythe of Ice from Kaori. And it looks like Nullifier, which is a great choice as well for Amar. He's got 3.3k gold.
Dyer's top tower is really
Looks like he does want to go for that Nullifier, which is an incredibly good item versus the Oracle. Super good versus the Ursa as well. You don't get those overpower stacks. Or charges or whatever you want to call them. It's not really stacks.
Nighttime Roshan again, closing up for Tundra. Taking the portal to the top half of the map, but Quest is, they're just begging for it. Please give us.
They won't get it, unfortunately.
And we might see a fight break. Scans right on top of them. For a portal action, maybe. Who goes in first? They're thinking about it. They're waiting for it. But Tundra's also waiting for him. It's just down to timing now. Who goes in first? Do they take the Roche Pit first? Do they enter the Twin Gate? Soxa. Charging.
I think if you're Quest, you give it. You do not have positioning for this. You're close to a couple crucial item timings. Farm your items. Yeah, it sucks you're going to give Roche away, but unfortunately, you did not prepare for this. Or you're just not prepared for it. The way you're choosing to itemize. It's going to go their way. They're going to get cheese. They're going to get Aegis. But maybe with this Nullifier timing, with the Scythe of Ice timing, they can fight through it. They've done a pretty good job dodging until now.
There's sustainability for Tundra with that cheese Aegis now.
It's big, yeah.
Even if it isn't the Shard of Roshan anymore, the cheese is going to help out. Especially when we're looking at, is the Willow going to be the one to carry it? They didn't even pick it up. It's still in the pit. Not again. West here. Dota, you just keep forgetting the cheese in the pit.
Interesting.
This is a
I feel like that
type of
cheese
strat that I do not know about.
It's not a
It's
strat.
right there. Yep.
Top tower, I do not know. That baby is coming down.
They keep doing this, you know. They're ahead. They're getting the
Dyer's top
lotuses.
tower is really taking a beating.
They could make the block of cheese.
Yeah, without even picking up the cheese. You know, that's a feat in itself. They got the Nullifier, the Spirit Breaker, but Ordeal's up in the air, doesn't get saved by the Oracle. Far in the front. Noob coming in from the side, trying to get to 33, but he's holding the gem. They spot his movements. Mars still taking some beating here. Has the BKB ready. Skitter going in, but now he's going to save himself. Ursa also getting hexed up at the same time. Soxa low on HP. Doesn't quite get the vision anymore for his ult. But he's going to have to back away. Skitter got that Aegis up and running. If only they had the cheese now, they could have just brought that Spirit Breaker back into action. But nobody dies. It's just the, you know, testing the waters on both sides.
They just misplayed. Omar yuled him to get rid of the bulldoze effects, but Amar had a Nullifier. But everything they did there was just kind of counterplayed by the Yules. The Nullifier would have taken off the bulldoze and they wouldn't have been able to burst him, but Maybe that was something that just surprised them. Amar didn't know that Amar had the nullifier available. I thought he was doing his team a favor, but in reality, just saved Soxa there.
Are able to complete first dive and hex up Soxa, but Sox has got the connection, and this Phoenix ain't going anywhere. He's going to have to sacrifice Soxa with the 17% not needed. We do have the Willow showing up in time for the root.
Your Dark Willow impression?
Yeah, I tried. Not very on point.
Oh no, let's not do voice lines again.
Oh man,
Bring me back.
The king of voice lines.
That is true. We'll have to do some more later.
Oh, we definitely have
game. This
bottom
game
tower's gone
continues.
to a power farm
See if we can get some voice lines out of you. But yeah, the map right now is gonna start shrinking a bit for Quest. They need to make these connections hit. Like, they have the item timings. It's not going to get much better for them. They just can't mess it up again. They need to start getting a couple kills. Even if it is the Spear Breaker, it's a big kill. The Spear Breaker has a Heaven's Halberd. That's going to be a nightmare for this Templar Assassin if he can get it on there. You saw how long that Hex lasted if you don't get rid of that Bulldoze effect. But you have the tools to do so. You just need to go together and make it happen. You're not going to win a game of Dota by dodging the entirety of the game, thinking you can never fight. I'm okay with them waiting out for at least a Sagas, but after that, it's time to get aggressive.
Yeah, it's showtime. They haven't really got much out of this TA power spike either, which is something they wanted to get ahead with the items that this Templar has, but Tundra's got a lot of answers to him now. Maybe they can catch Soxa off guard. He's right outside of vision, but, you know, he sees a bit longer than everybody else. That level 10 talent will allow him to jump in first, and Kaori will drop. First, they're going to get hit by the arrow, speared up, but standing in the rain of
in the
destiny.
vicinity of Dyer's top tower, I'd put on a heart. That baby is coming
Rain
down.
of Destiny.
That's Spirit Breaker level 10. Like,
Dyer's
Mar
top
doesn't
tower
see the
is
Spirit
really
Breaker,
taking a
but
beating.
Soxa sees the Mars, and it's like, guys, they're around here somewhere.
And Soxa went for the talent as well to get extra night vision.
If you're in the vicinity of Dyer's top
Pretty early
tower,
on.
I'd put on a heart.
Skipping his
That
level
baby is coming
15
down.
talent. It's realizing the Bulldoze this game against the
Dyer's
Yules,
top tower is
against the
really taking a
Nullifier.
beating.
It's not going to have as great effect as it usually would have. So I do like to see that choice. Going into the Aghanim's now, BKBs are available. I do like that choice. Other option is Shadow Blade. The one way to make it so you don't get your, so you can get your charge off and not get Yuled is if they don't see it coming.
Peters teleporting towards bottom. And the Marana is pulling out the Moonlight Shadow, but they will cancel out the TP from Skitter. 15 seconds left on the Aegis Quest,
think they
almost
want
timing it
sneaking.
perfectly. And they will force out the regeneration from Ursa. Nevertheless, 33 splitting out like a path, but Amar's going in. Where's the rest of the team? They're going to need some backup, at least for the Oracle kill. He might be able to do it alone, but the facade is there. Finally finishing him off, and now also Soxa in peril. The Spirit Breaker surrounded by the Questers. That's the quest complete.
There we go. They're online now. I think hopefully that gives them the confidence to continue pushing forward here. They have all the items necessary. Just go, go, go. One
high ground ticket.
Radiant's middle
little
tower
bit
is gone.
of damage, but unless they get another kill, I'm not sure if they can break down the high ground. As Glyph is still available here. The cheese has been dropped. So they're not forget.
Okay, the cheese is recovered.
You're gonna back now if you're Quest. Not like back to your fountain or anything. You're just not gonna hit that tier 3 tower anymore. And Noob, he's got 4.3k gold. Looks like Scythe of Ice is his choice. We'll give him 2 hexes now. And I like what they did there. You can poke the Ursa, but don't commit on them. Don't overcommit. Find that Oracle. If you can kill the Oracle in these fights, you're in a good spot as Quest. This is something we didn't see much in the last game. They didn't have that jump to the back line to kill those pesky supports. But they got plenty of jump this game. No excuse. They're going for the aggressive itemizations on every single hero here. Amar realizing I'm not going to build the auras. 33, he's building auras. He's building the Sol Kuros, the Solar Crest. I'm going to build the anti-aura item, which is a nullifier this patch. Seeing a lot more of play in this one.
Also picked up the shard for the Spirit Breaker off of the Tormentor, so it's going to be the Planner Pocket coming into play. be able to catch a stray nullifier. No, maybe a
I mean, you don't want to catch the nullifier Spirit Breaker.
Not really.
That's the one you don't want to catch. Everything else you do.
If you're in the vicinity of Dire's top tower, I'd put on a hard hat.
But maybe you
That
do
baby
just
is
catch
coming
it and
down.
keep it off your Ursa too. It's just such a good nullifier game, man. It's so good versus Oracle, it's so good
Dire's
versus
top
Ursa, and
tower
it's
is
also
really taking a
amazing versus Spirit Breaker. I almost want to say you need one against Spirit Breaker just because, or Yules, right? Just how good Bulldoze is. 70% status resistance, with
If you're in the
25%
vicinity of
move
Dire's
speed.
top tower, I'd
You
put
just
on a
can't
hard
stun
hat.
this guy.
That baby is
Just
coming
walking
down.
in and out of the fights. But can't do that if you have that dispelled, so they need an answer.
Tundra forced out a pretty easy glyph as well, but there's 33 in his birds pushing down that tier 3 tower, forcing out the glyph from Quest. But they can't really allow that to happen for a second time. They know that Tundra forcing out this top wave is going to force Quest back into their base because no more glyph. Gonna have to defend it. Gonna have to force them away with conventional tools.
The prize is mine.
I think the next big timing for Quest, and they're kind of showing us that they're in no rush this game. They're pretty happy with the state of the game, as they should be.
If you're in the
But
vicinity
the
of
next
Dire's
big
top
timing
tower,
is going to
I'd
be
put
this
on a hard
Templar
hat.
Assassin
That
hitting
baby is
level
coming down.
25, getting that 7 extra refraction instances. Really makes Ursa's life hard if you can't get on the target and burst them right away. And it'll allow TA2000 to just be that much more aggressive.
Looking at the win probability graph, this game has at the highest been 57% for one team and not above. So this has been very neck and neck.
Quest seems like they want to smoke or something,
Eventually.
but they don't. They're not
Radiant
pressing it.
scanning for enemies. Or maybe for
Phoenix,
friends. They
maybe
look
they're
unpopular.
just claiming space. Roshan is up. It is a daytime Roshan with an Aghanim.
15 seconds, so they need to smoke across.
Okay, so let me guess. Quest goes top. Meanwhile, Tundra's taken the portal to bottom.
Dire's top tower is
they're
really
gonna
Or
taking
is,
a
the-
beat.
or is
teams
this
know.
just a big brain play where they're probably sitting by the portal again, just like last time? And now Roche is coming, and that's going to poke the Willow. 9, wake up. Portal's activated. Skitter's like, oh, I want to fight. Oh, it's just Roshan. And here comes the rest. They don't have the
Quest
Bramble
is
base
here.
this time. This is perfect
gonna be a
timing for
fight.
Quest. If they can just get a mark in first. Tundra going to be aware for this one. A mark going in, and they've got the fight breaking low. That's going to be dropping very low in HP, and so is Roshan at 1,500 HP. Who's going to become the Aegis for themselves? And then Quest on Tundra. The kill goes to Quest. Will be able to take it. Tundra for losing 2. And the cheese this time not left on the ground. It is also recovered. And Tundra. They fight the dust this Quest. They get everything.
There's one thing you can rely on Amar for. I feel like he outclicks everyone on these like Aegis skirmishes. There were so many heroes on top of this Aegis after Roche died for like 3 seconds. It probably wasn't even clickable. Everyone's just standing on top of it. But at the end of the day, maybe it was because of the Gods of Puke or something, knocking heroes back, gave the vision. Amar picks it up there, but beautiful read here by Quest with that
Only
smoke. And we're going to see instant replay exactly who got this Aegis.
I mean, it looks like the Ags was going for the Willow by the looks of it, because he's the only one who has it buffed up. But as you can see, the timing is just impeccable for Quest to jump in there, annihilate them out of the way.
Radiant's middle tower is about to be
No
a
Bramble Maze
smoking
either,
rock.
used onto a Roshan coming out of the portal. Might have surprised Tundra a bit as well. Like, I mean, it's probably Roche that's coming through, but doesn't really care about the roots, does he? Socks up, trying to force out some kind of aggression here, while trying to defend at the same time. But the Willow dealing out damage on the Noob. Big hits coming through, but he's going to pop the cheese. And Noob to disengage from the high ground. Quest still
you're a
stacked
fan
up
of Radiant's
as
top
5.
tower,
Socks
I'd
up.
shut my eyes.
He's in the front. Urge following up as well. Ursa has that second cheese. Hasn't been used.
I am not a betting
It's
man.
all the way from
unless it's
second
basketball.
Roshan.
Football, horse
Forcing
racing,
Quest out of the
rugby,
high ground, but that is a tier
but
3
if I
tower that
was,
will drop.
I'd bet on Radiant's top tower.
Tier
coming
3
down.
tower down. Network is now 10k for Quest as the Spirit just barely misses there.
Mark's in the front. He can tank this for days. He's
So he gets to it.
Here we go. Arena pump down as well. He can be on 9. He can get out from that arena. They won't be able to save Socks up at the time being. He's going to have to stick around for a bit longer. Skitter, no more geez, they will lose Sox on the low ground, and now maybe they have a chance to fight back, but still the Aegis up on Amar. And another tower to fall. Quest in a great position right now.
Tower is in trouble, though.
It sure is going to be difficult now for Tundra. They don't have the damage anymore. It feels like this Ursa against the Nullifier, against the TA, and into this Aegis. They can't get into the fights anymore. Same with 33. It's been very quiet this game, built all the auras. They don't have that. They don't have the heart to carry this game that can really abuse it. Maybe it's up to 9 now. See how much damage you can burst out into these fights. But yet again, TA about 2 creeps away from getting level 25.
Just jumping on the front. They will burn Lamar, but Ursa also going to get Hex Pump. But the enrage is going to buy some time for Skitter to not get controlled. And that is your Aegis down. The melee Rex will stand for the time being at 600 HP.
That was unintentional. Forget I said that.
They will
Their
back
bottom
out.
tower is in trouble, though. Dire's bottom tower is gone
That
to
was
be with
without
big
the
brick in
Spirit
sky.
Breaker as well. So a successful defense from Tundra. It does come up with a bit of a cost of the range racks falling, but it could have been so much worse.
Yeah, they hold their barracks for now. They don't get a trade in any kills in that regard, so they're still losing in net worth.
33 in the position to pop these smokes too. He is also available. He'll have to use it. Vault it up too. Lamar going up the back line right away. Skitter is focusing his attention towards the Mars, but the arrow flies in so for the BKB from Ursa. Doesn't worry about it at all. But he's going to start to take the attention from Team 2000. Charge with the success while Satan comes to the back. They're going to take down Lamar. The Mars is going to be falling new, but the backlines as well in the fight. And now he's getting the control. Pistol blade onto the TA 2000 is going to be controlled and taken down. So they're going to find more. Can they match it? Yes, they can. That charge on the Kaori. And Kaori to drop with the Phoenix. And that is 3 losses for Quest. And it forces out Amar. It forces out Noob.
Right
Tundra. First, they successfully hold the high ground. And then they get the they were looking for 33 in the front with the birds, scouting out all the movement. And Amar, he was looking for that big arena play, but they couldn't overwhelm the Ursa.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing that replay here. I think Amar just went a little too deep there. I wanted to see where Noob was in this fight. I guess he was just killing Snaking off, but I feel like they could have focused on the Visage. Visage was really far in. They didn't have to initiate like that. They're up 13,000 gold in this point in the game, and I think Amar just went way too deep for his team.
To restore.
I think they wanted to get a fight straight at the stairs, so they would have had their teammates closer. Don't worry too much about Tundra, because Snaking was also, he's just walking in circles on the Oracle. He's like, please get this guy off me, please get this guy off me. And he never gets to cast False Promise. But that was a fight they took without even needing the Oracle to save somebody. Skitter's positioning also soaking up that arrow stun with his BKB still up and running, saving the Oracle's life for a bit longer, and they're spreading their damage on 2-3 separate targets. Quest just walks out empty-handed.
Yeah, I want to see this game get to a point where they're more unified in how they're taking team fights from Quest. I want to see Noob jumping this Oracle and solo killing. This is an Oracle that only has a Glimmer Cape. Just picked up a Blink Dagger. You're level 22 on Void Spirit. You've got a Silver Edge, Manta, Lincolns. You got a lot of damage. You can solo kill this Oracle. You just need to find the right angle. As a team, you guys have to go in on the right targets at the right time. It's okay if you want to go on the Ursa just to bait out the fight with the Mars. But you got to have that assassination. Noob really has to find this Oracle in the fights and take him out immediately. That should be his #1 objective and what only thing he's thinking about in these team fights.
Quest still holding on to that net worth lead as well. Has been on their side throughout the entirety of this game since the 5-minute marker. How much good will it do to them? They have been capable of fighting Tundra. Tundra also successful with 1 or 2 defenses. It's still going either way. Smoke up coming in. Tundra heading towards mid. There's a TA-2000 smoked up on the other side with a Ninja Gear. He's going to be found. And Visage with that silence as the grave. They've got an idea, but do they get there in time? Beautiful Hex coming out from Phoenix, keeping Soxa at bay. It was also going a bit too deep for Tundra to follow.
Yeah, 33 with that Aghanim Scepter now, able to get that little bit of vision for his team so they can get those charges off. If you can ever get to a Hex, that's when this build gets really scary, because he can just initiate on his own for his team to follow up. But yeah, these Hexes have been great. They only last like 0.1 second on the Spirit Breaker, but they do cancel a charge, which is the important thing here.
Dire's middle tower is taking one hell of a
Tundra's
beating.
doing a great job keeping the map. They're down 8k gold, but they're playing like they're 8k gold ahead here.
Yeah.
So we'll have to
feel like it.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely are doing that. And I think Quest is a team that really plays off of emotions. And by that, I mean, they have a good fight, will continuously play aggressive, but the moment they have a bad fight, they seem to just, like, take their foot off the gas.
Too much time spent on Tundra and you're going to get frostbite. Nope. Only 33 was around. No gem to locate the movements of this Void Spirit, so he's able to walk away. Now, Phoenix, what you up? Just TP home, okay. Woke
He's out
again
of there.
from Tundra.
It looks like they play us now. Both teams know the Roche spawner begins now. And we got a bit of a short one here, just a minute 20 for the Roche timer.
Yep, yet another Roshan. Daytime or nighttime? Gonna be
It will be nighttime,
nighttime end result. All right.
most likely. Unless they can burst it really quickly
Like
on the side. I mean, you have like...
got 5 seconds, yeah.
You got 5 seconds. If you can stun Roshan, keep him in place, maybe. I've never seen it before. I still haven't checked. Can you interrupt Roshan with TP?
I've seen it twice where it can die super fast.
Yeah.
But those are well, one is new Dota days with techies, and another one's a bit older days with a particular Arc Warden and his Spark Wraiths. They don't have those kind of tools at their disposal right now, so we have swapped around. Oh, Amar is going through the... He's not going through. Snake King's already moving away. He did see that there's an animation brewing here, so I think they know where Quest is right now.
But I think 33 is going to do a good job here. I mean, not nullifier.
Do they just force them back into their base? Tundra is taking
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think they realize that you cannot defend that top Roshan right now, so you got to go.
We're still on cooldown for 5 seconds, so they're TP back in. Fully ready and waiting for this fight. Tundra back away. Birds are going to get sniped. Familiars.
And he's out of birds, actually. Yeah, that's huge. There's no more birds. Committed it for that fight, and T2000 already going to start on Roshan here. Going to wait for the double meld, or maybe not. Look at all these traps here.
Plenty of good vision.
You don't want to come to this party.
Right next to the Lotus. So T2000 can just sit here for the time being. 33, he's already come through the portal. Find the E-Ward himself, but they jump to Ursa at the same time. Skinner needs some help. He needs some help. He's going to get used up into the air with that ring. And T2000 is fighting them back. And Skinner down. Or is he? Snake King's already dead. He's going to be followed up as well. Quest, they're getting the success. They're smelling victory as they get 3. And Tundra left empty-handed from this fight. And also the Spirit Breaker going to get caught. 33 is the only one to make it out of this fight. I mean, it wasn't really even a fight, to be completely honest. Quest just runs over them.
You're walking into like 1,000 traps there from the
I am
TA.
not a betting
The
man.
TA had perfect positioning on TA Master himself, TA 2000. Gets the silence onto the Oracle with the traps, assassinates him immediately. And that's exactly what you need from Quest. I wanted Noob to end up doing it the other day, but TA2000 decided he's going to end up doing it. Bring it triple buyback. Try and defend their base here.
That is costly for Tundra, but it has to be done.
Jeff Bottom.
The birds are now just resummoned from 33.
Ankle is up.
Radiant's got a real hate on for Dire's
Do you give
bottom
up your
barracks.
barracks here? I don't have a choice at this point. Sneaky little rat, 33 here.
Just fell.
You're gonna lose Roche, but they're gonna get a trade of barracks. That's a hell of a good trade. If you're in the situation of Tundra, yeah, but the game state is still pretty bad. We've seen crazy games before, right? Anything can happen in the late game.
cold now.
At least this time, Quest doesn't have to steal Roshan from the eyes of Tundra. They get it for free. At least in terms of the Roshan contest. But bottom rank's fallen. Push from 33. And they didn't use Glyph for it either. Knowing that they probably just waste the Glyph. So they're still focusing on Roche. Save it for later.
Yeah. It's 47 minutes in the game. I think you resort to full rat tactics, as I don't think you're fighting in the quest. You already couldn't fight in the quest when you had the Aegis and cheese yourself. Now they have the Aegis cheese. Good luck. That's all I have to say on that one. Just good luck. And they got a refresher as well on the Phoenix. So you want to find a way to just... And you don't have buybacks to defend your base either. Well, you have some. Just on the Oracle and Visage. But your other 3 cores.
Yeah, now 33 has another extra stun to control Quest as he's picking up the shard. The Gravekeeper's cloak. The extra survivability. Is he going to survive long enough for that? Oracle's going to have to bump us all for him. He's going to start regenerating up. Mark fighting in the back line. He gets some heals for his team. He wants the refresher. Sick the Marina plays down. Still stuck inside his Skitter. Taking socks up. Still trying to fight against it. 33 coming up the line against wall. Mark's going to be only barely 1 HP. Skitter trying to burst through. Lamar, he's so close to getting it. He does. He gets the bash through. And Quest forced back to the low ground. But that's another buyback. Tundra, they're going to need more than just 1 kill. They need a hell of a lot more from this one. But can they catch a single hero? Doesn't look like they can. They're already out on the side of Quest.
If you're a fan of
Not the
Radiant's
worst
top
result
tower,
here for Tundra. Amar has no buyback here for 74 seconds, so now that gives him another window to make something happen. 33, he did have to use his buyback for it. He's going to be on the hunt, and I think they know right here and right now for Tundra, they got to make something happen. You have the discipline on Quest to just sit in your base and wait for Amar to respawn, which I believe is 100% the correct play. Or will you get caught out by this? There's a lot of big brains on Tundra here. They know exactly what to do when they're playing this far behind.
Yep.
They've talked about it before. They need to make a kill happen in this window.
Usually they find a way, but is Quest going to be too tricky? What is the level of this quest they have taken? Level, 50 minutes of gameplay, and everybody is above level 20. 20 talents are online for everybody, even the Oracle included. 21 now with those Wisdom Runes picked up. Highest level 27 on the TA 2000's Templar. And he's getting closer to that 1 second melt hit bash, which usually can be a big game changer. And always a bit of a surprise, too, because you're expecting something instant to happen. But during the middle of a fight, a casual meld into a bash, it's like, oh, you know, you get surprised a bit by it. And you don't get to hit that one crucial button, followed up into a control. So,
yeah, it could be really good
combo
versus the Oracle. Just maybe,
especially
all
Oracle,
it takes is 1 second, right, to kill him. It takes 1 second to kill Oracle, for sure. That's all you need. It was the help of the silence before, but now you have another tool later on. And you're back in your base, if you're touching.
Yeah.
At this point, I think their game plan is pretty clear. They want to fight with buybacks, and it's a good strategy. I think it won't hurt. It's going to draw this game out pretty far, as they're going to wait another 3 minutes and 30 seconds. That way, the Spirit Breaker, the Dark Willow, and the Ursa will all have buybacks available.
Tower, I'd put on a hard hat.
And the Aegis will be running out in 1 minute here, and it looks like you're in no position, if you are Quest, to do anything with that Aegis. I think, did they use a refresher last fight?
Just a refresher orb popped by Mars.
No, they used the shard.
I'm believing shard was used by somebody else then.
Yeah, Phoenix had it.
Phoenix, most likely, yeah.
Well, that's good news for Tundra. And will we see the block of cheeses here?
It's good for the time being until he's finished the double cornucopias and get that refresher orb on the Phoenix, so double sun time.
Yeah, and I think if you're Ursa, you don't have the luxury of hitting egg this game. You know who does have the luxury of hitting egg? As long as the arena's not there? The Dark Willow. Dark Willow has the Moon Shard online. I don't particularly want to use it, but it is egg at the end of the day.
And 9 actually isn't the one inside the arena anyway. So it's been Snaking, it's been Soxa and Skitter, the 3 three common suspects, usually caught inside the arena. So 9 should be able to find an angle, just hit the egg. 2000 going for a very frisky blink onto the high ground, but he's going to be forced out away just as fast as he arrived. Let's get a couple hits onto the tier 3 though.
Unhealable damage.
Unhealable.
Not bad. As long as he gets out of that, that's just a W there. And I really think Tundra is just waiting that extra 1 minute and 40 seconds here for those buybacks before they do absolutely anything. And even then, they might not do anything. They realize the state of the game is quite dire. They realize if they want to win this game, is they got to force some big mistakes out of Quest. And they're just going to play for it and hope it happens. There's no reason not to. Sox is going to get out and try to do some warding, maybe give him some openings later on to catch a hero that's left in the pack and get his own farm out. As he is level 25 on the Spirit Breaker, which is nice. Let's do a level 25 check since we're here. Who's not 25 though?
Tundra just chilling in their base, you know. As long as Quest isn't there, we're all good. Stretching out this game even further. Closing up on pretty long minutes. West European DPC. See what the,
Alright, so we got only heroes not 20. Somehow Dark Below is not 25 and Spirit Breaker is. Okay, that's your mid with a Midas.
Fun fact is, we're 4 minutes away from the longest match in West Europe so far, which is, you know, not a lot. We're looking for about 58 minutes, but it was OG versus Quest. So is Quest the new ruler of late game compared to Tundra? We'll wait and see if that is truly the case, but
the largest arena.
Around, yeah, okay. You know, just for show.
That
reminder that
works,
his button
right?
still works, yeah.
The classic. They're just waiting for Roche.
I've seen worse. I've seen worse usages of an arena or even a BKB charge.
I mean, that one cleared the trees, which actually helped them the last fight win that big team fight because TA2000 was hiding in those trees. But you know,
I still think one of the funniest and maybe probably one of the worst case scenarios of using an accidental BKB cast was back in Tour 1 in North America, of course, NA. But you probably know who I'm referring to with the Doom showing his BKB timing at 50.
Oh, I do, yeah.
And ended up getting cliffed. Tries to TP after his BKB runs out, gets stunned, and he's just stuck there. And that's your BKB's reveal. It's kind of like, oh man, not what you were looking for.
NA BKB from a non-NA player.
But it is West Europe. You don't want to fool them around. Mars Arena's cool on cooldown for 20 seconds. Does it end up biting them? He's got a second one with the refresher orb at least. Clearing out the birds.
Birds are dead. He's got to resummon, but you don't want to lose your birds like this.
He wants to pop silence as the grave too. 2 more seconds. Go for the wraparound onto the side. Scouting arrow. And also blocking an exit.
Soxa making a circle like, hey guys, we can't really control this area. Maybe we go pressure mid like last time. Trade Roshan for another set of barracks. That sounds good.
Just look at Quest's movements basically. They're moving back in and out from Roche to right to left to right to down as a group. And then they'll probably from here, if they don't find anybody clearing out that wave, they'll just move straight back towards Roshan.
Soxa, is he going to take the bait? Oh my gosh,
Dyer's
he's so
top
fast.
tower is really taking a beat.
At least, but 33 is already pushing your buildings.
He's doing it.
And Phoenix is TPing back. Is this the same thing again? Quest forced back into base, and then Tundra heads towards the Roche pit. Let's see if Quest has some kind of a variation to this defense this time. Yes. Bring out the birds. They know he's there.
Shadows.
What about the rest of Quest? Do Tundra know that there's still...
Can they get Kaori? He's split up from the team here.
Potentially, he's coming up, and TA2000 is not going to be there for the time being, but he will trap teleport if required. Here goes Alarm. He finds 9. 9's going to get pinned to the wall, and this Willow dying right now. 5 HP, still surviving, but finally falls, and the Morana's going to be dropping 2. 1 for 1. 1 for 2 even in this case, because the buyback comes out from Snaking. Hunting for 33, misses a spear from point blank range even. So the Gravekeeper's clove. We want Noob dumping on the Soxa and Tundra. Corral themselves a real team fight right now. 33 going to teleport away with the silence as the grave. No, sir. does decide to buy back. But Tundra, they're not contesting Roche anymore. They're gonna let this one go again for Quest. 3 Roshans in a row.
Yeah, if they only spotted Kaori there,
can tell
walking there and isolated them, perhaps that could have been a different fight, but we've seen it time and time again. At this stage of the game, with these two lineups, you're not 5 versus 5ing Quest as Tundra. I like the rat play that they tried on the top lane there. I feel like giving that Roche away and continuously going for these, you know, just poking, going for the barracks, maybe trading a Roche. Sure, at some point, it still favors Quest, but at least it brings that chaotic element to the game. So maybe you can force Quest into a bad decision-making process here. Instead, I think you're just going to have to double buyback on 2 cores here. But they're waiting for the right opportunity to do so.
At least the results for game 2 looking like T2000 bigger than Howie 2000, but Tundra still hold on to a sliver of hope. Ursa going to get saved up by the Oracle, but he cannot exit the arena and force the fight back. It's going to take so much damage from this one. I don't think he will survive. Suxa charging onto the back line. Skinner going to be dropping. He's coming in with the buyback as well. And going to be popped down, and they get to it. They're protecting it really well. Suxa dies. He's pretty much all by himself in the back line. And Tundra once again, 4 buybacks have been spent, and they keep Quest at bay. Skinner in the front, clears out the wave, and Quest's gonna.
We might be here for a while.
They're just gonna reset.
You already know what's gonna happen. Tundra's gonna wait. I know there's 7.5 minutes for these buybacks to come online, but it is 36,000 gold down. They're not waiting actually. Time is now, they said. As Snaking leads the charge on top of a trap here. You know where he's at.
And Noob's right next to him. They don't have to jam on 33. They can't get to him, but the Willow's gonna have to pump his BKB, save his life for the time being. Oh, that's a lot of stuff spent by the Willow.
On the aggressive still. A little awkward positioning for Tundra here, but it looks like they feel like it's desperation time. They got to make something happen.
Yeah, not like quite the Hail Mary, but very close to it. We gotta get some victories here. We might be losing the fight, but we can't lose the war. But they be able to corral themselves back together. Snaking, that's 1 dieback. 5 versus 4. What about the rest? Nice enemy control. The bar is there with the arena. There goes your Willow. Dying on the walls of that Colosseum. Put her head on a spike. Put there for all to show. Amar able to get that one. So 5 again. 100 seconds.
It is to be alive here. You're down 40k gold. It's 3 versus 5 against buybacks as well. Good luck, Tundra.
But this might just be, they're going to need a lot of it too, because that's going to be a third hero gone, and it pretty much looks like game at this point. Quest, I mean, in the lead or not in the lead throughout this entire game. Looking to take that big W, trying to break through the egg. It's going to be a start for the fight, and that's going to be Kaori jumping first, but Skinner spent pretty much everything for this, and he's down 2, and that's going to be game. Quest is going to be tying this series up. Looking forward to Bar, of course, he wants to dive the mountain. He spites the items to be dropped to the ground at the Sansa Falls. We're going to be seeing that. This is a statement victory for Quest.
Mars a new man. He's turned over a new leaf here. No more item dropping. Humble Amara wins this game.